This is Ask an Expat with Marcus and Matt from an Expat's Russia, where we answer your questions about what it's like to live, work, and travel in Russia. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to answer the question, do I need a degree to teach English in Russia? And if you enjoy our videos, like and subscribe. Matt, do you need a degree to teach English in Russia?
Great question. We get this all the time. Actually, no. If you talk to language schools, they'll all tell you, yes, you need a degree. But I think that doesn't take all of the details into account, right? Because the language schools, we have to remember, looking from their position, they're looking at candidates of how can we pitch this person to our clients? And their clients could be individual students or businesses or whatever. And a lot of times they're looking for hard qualifications. Russia is a very formalistic country. And so you always have to have some sort of qualification for everything. But when it comes down to it, if they need an English teacher, they're going to hire you. I think a degree is way more important to have than a teaching English qualification, at least in my experience in Russia. If you don't have a degree though, and you don't have a teaching certificate, that's kind of the situation where you get into it's not impossible. We don't want to give that sort of notion, but you don't need a degree. You don't need an English certificate. But if you have one or the other, you're going to be much better off in terms of the opportunities that you're going to be able to take advantage of teaching English in Russia. That was my experience. I had a great friend who had neither, made great money because he was a very likable guy, very personable, active. He didn't have any difficulty whatsoever. So it obviously depends on the person, but no offense, if you're a bad teacher, you don't have a degree and you don't have a certificate, you're gonna find some difficulty in Russia teaching. I think the most important quality for any English teacher in Russia is just to be engaging. If you're engaging, you're going to be a good teacher by Russian standards, because what children and adults have sort of seen through their entire adult life, in school and university, the teachers are not engaging whatsoever. They're very, very boring. Nobody likes learning in Russia. So if you can just be engaging at the very least, you're going to be a good teacher, at least seen that way.
Right. I would agree with most of everything that you said. If you're a bad teacher, when it comes to bad, really it comes down to being able to give the students good input and keep a conversation going. I'm not very, energetic, but I'm with kids especially, I'm very expressive because some of the kids don't know, they don't understand. So you have to rely on body language, facial expressions, and I just really feel comfortable around kids. So I did very well with kids, but some people just, don't have that connection to kids. And if you're teaching English in Russia and you don't really want to teach with kids, then you're cutting out a huge piece of the pie of your potential, earnings as an English teacher, especially doing private lessons. But you'd be kind of competing with a lot of other people, all the corporate positions, groups, and adults. But like Matt said, if you don't have anything to put on your resume to show a degree, even if you have bachelor's degree, but it's not in something related, that's something to start with. It could get you in an interview over somebody else who doesn't. Well, the first time I went to Russia to teach, actually in 2009, I didn't have a degree. I wasn't finished with my studies, but I was studying linguistics. So I did have kind of an advantage, but when people ask, I wasn't able to say I was graduate. So I went and worked with lots of kids, and lots of other people didn't want to work with kids. So that kind of made up for it. But people who have a TEFL or TESOL certificate, let's say they're not finished with school or whatever, they don't have a bachelor's degree. If they have a TESOL or TEFL certificate, people don't really understand what it is. The perception is much greater than the value of perceived is much greater than the actual certificate. So if you put that on paper and you have it, it's a huge benefit. Although I wouldn't say in reality it's a huge benefit over somebody who doesn't have it. So
that's all I had. I think the bachelor's degree, all it does is show that you're a more or less literate person, right? That's right. The only reason they're looking for the bachelor's degree is that they know that you'll have an understanding of English grammar. So overall, the answer to the question is definitely no, you don't need a degree. It's definitely not going to hurt you though, and it will definitely open doors that you might not otherwise have if you're looking to teach English in Russia. Hope that helps. If you have any other questions, let us know in the comments and we'll answer them in another video.